to expand benefits. And what this amendment says is do not cut Social Security. Now, I think a number of my Republican friends will say, well, we're not going to cut Social Security for anybody on Social Security today.
So about 16 million Americans will lose their unemployment benefits this week. Multiple lawmakers in Congress are urging the White House to send out another stimulus check of $1,000 and even $2,000 a month. Many lawmakers in Congress want President Biden to send out a fourth stimulus check very soon. There's one big issue, and it's that Democrats and Republicans can't seem to get along. They're actually holding back our stimulus check money. Who is to blame for holding back the stimulus checks, everybody? Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. And before we get into the video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends and family.
On infrastructure, in terms of the people he's speaking to this afternoon, will one of them be Mitt Romney?
We will give readouts and of who he's spoken with once we've completed those calls, but I don't have anything to preview for you at this moment.
Is this the first time that he's starting to kind of reach out to them? He's been really focusing on Capito up until now.
That's right. We've been engaged with a range of Democrats and Republicans, including members who have been in conversation through this group at a staff level. He's obviously had discussions with a number of them about how he moves his ideas forward. So I wouldn't make it as firm as a first time, but certainly discussing this as a viable path forward at his level.
So Americans living in some Republican-led states could lose their unemployment benefits this week, almost 3 months before the extra aid is slated to end. At least 25 states led by Republican governors decided in May and June to prematurely drop out of several relief programs, including those that provide an extra $300 a week on top of regular state unemployment benefits and expanded eligibility for jobless aid. The supplemental benefits are not poised to expire until September 6th. Alaska, Iowa, and even Missouri will be the first to opt out of this, and this ends the crisis era programs for out-of-work Americans on June 12th. The other states that are terminating benefits early include states like Georgia, Florida, and Texas. Now folks, those states will stop giving unemployed workers an extra $300 in benefits sometime over the summer. According to one estimate published by the Century Foundation, roughly 16 million Americans will lose their unemployment benefits as a result. GOP lawmakers were quick to blame the extra unemployment aid for the anemic job growth, although experts have also cited a lack of childcare and fears of contracting it for the hiring shortage. What are your thoughts on this, everybody? Are the unemployment benefits keeping people out of work? Tell me your thoughts on this in the comments below. There remains 7.6 million fewer jobs than in February of 2020. That's before the crisis began. The average state unemployment benefit is about $330 per week. With the federal supplement, Americans were receiving around $630 in weekly unemployment benefits. That's about $32,000 annually, or roughly double the nation's minimum wage. President Joe Biden has said that the unemployment benefits will end in September as planned. However, many of his party members will want to make the extra money permanent. Millions of people have been clamoring for recurring stimulus payments, and several lawmakers have even expressed support for more relief aid through the crisis. President Biden's American Families Plan and the American Jobs Plan will definitely provide so many Americans with financial relief. In a press conference, White House Press Secretary said this about a fourth stimulus payment. She said that the Biden administration, big news has been announced and there are new proposals currently on the table. It would make a dramatic positive impact for the Social Security people. Joe Biden is making a big decision on this in order to try to avoid Social Security cuts for all recipients. Top senators for both parties are working to save Social Security benefits. Everyone in DC knows that Social Security is in trouble. They only have to listen to the federal government and the program's trustees. In the latest report, the trustees projected that Social Security's combined trust funds is already running out of money, and by 2034, the program is done. But some in Washington are working on solutions to prevent the program from becoming insolvent. One of them, Senate Republican Bill Cassidy, recently revealed what he called a big idea in a webcast hosted by the Bipartisan Policy Center that could roughly save 70% of the program's projected shortfall. The proposal is to create an investment fund that's completely separate from Social Security's current trust funds. This new investment fund would invest money in the stock market, where Social Security trust funds currently put money in treasury bills or cash. Now, what I mean is that he called Social Security's current approach the Silicon Valley Bank of pension funds, a reference to the failed bank that was acquired by the First Citizens Bank. He argued that the federal program is the worst investment strategy you can have right now. The separate fund isn't really a new idea, though, because he pointed to other funds, including the Canada Plan and Ontario Pensions Plan for teachers, that were in bad shape financially but became solvent by using a market-based strategy. There are some details remaining to be worked out. For instance, some people think the proposed plan will be a gap stop to guarantee that if they won't lose money if the stock market underperforms. Cassidy said the participation is now needed from both Democratic and Republican leaders to take action for Social Security. Even though the President and Congress have limited options for preserving Social Security, they can either raise additional money, reduce benefits, or do both. Because President Biden has been adamantly against any reduction in benefits. Even Senator Cassidy said that it's not right to do that. Steep benefit cuts are on the way if nothing is done. Because of this, Americans who have retired yet should save as much as they can in retirement accounts to get things ready for the financial shortfall. And Senator Cassidy stated in the Bipartisan Policy Center that it's going to take a while and take both sides to get this deal done.
Kind of taking it on the chin, particularly at the gas pump or even at the grocery store. So any little
uncertainty. The legal aid managing attorney says the economic impact payment system wasn't set up with low-income earners in mind.
It's almost as if it's just occurring to the Treasury and IRS as they go along, that not everybody fits the kind of cookie cutter tax filer with a bank account that they were thinking when they created this.
Local 12 spoke to more than a dozen low-income earners to see whether they have received their stimulus check and a bank account.
So here's the news. The lawmakers are taking huge action this week. Democrats and Republicans are discussing plans that would help cut poverty in half, and states have established new crisis relief programs aiming to provide relief to low income. This comes with extra stimulus cash and extra money in their bank. But now many of the crisis tax benefits from the past 2 years, like the expanded tax credit and temporary expansions to the child and dependent care credit and federal stimulus payments, all ended in 2021. A community refund will be a little bit smaller this year. And some Americans may find themselves owing taxes again. And according to Mark Stebner, a tax expert for Jackson Hewitt, next year a lot of things are put into place for 2021. And some part of 2020 will revert back to its pre-crisis years. It can lead to a refund shock or even more importantly, balance due shock. In addition, some new regulations were put into place. Student loan forgiveness, for example, is exempt from federal taxation, and borrowers in some states owe taxes. One of the changes is that the standard deduction for our 2022 is higher. It's typical for the standard deduction to increase a little each year, along with the rate of inflation, for your 2022 tax return. The standard deduction for single filers has been increased from $12,000 to just $12,950. That's up by $400, and it has bumped by $800 if you're filing married jointly. The standard deduction is what most taxpayers will simply have with a simple tax return in order to claim and reduce their taxable income. Income tax brackets are also higher in 2022. For 2022, income tax